Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the sprint race that just happened for the Japanese Grand Prix at Motegi. Now, before we get into it, here's how it finished. Pecco Bagnaia won it from Enea Bastianini, Marc Marquez, Jorge Martin, Franco Morbidelli, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Alex Marquez, Jack Miller, Maverick Vinales, Marco Bezzecchi, Raul Fernandez, Fabio Quartararo, Luca Marini, Johan Zarco, Augusto Fernandez, Alex Rins, Lorenzo Savadori, and Remy Gardner was the last one across the line. Joan Mir crashed. Alicia Spargaro crashed. Pedro Acosta crashed. And Taka Nakagami also crashed. Brad Binder had a technical issue with his bike and retired. Now, the race got underway, and with Pedro on pole and Pecco there, it was definitely going to be interesting to see which one of them got the whole shot. And it was, in fact, Pecco that was leading the race. But I have to say, Pedro Acosta was looking absolutely brilliant. Made a lovely block pass on Pecco after a few laps and was pulling away. But unfortunately, he did crash, handing the race lead to Pecco. Now, at that time, I was looking at Pecco's pace, and I was like, he doesn't really have the pace to run with Acosta, but he had the pace to stay ahead of Enea and Marc Marquez. And he did open up the gap, and he did look really, really comfortable. Enea, again, was similar to Pecco, did look really, really comfortable. However, with about 3 laps to go, Enea seemed to fall asleep and allow Marc close in on top of him. They had a really, really good and fair battle between the two of them. Going into the last lap, you were like, oh, here we go. Is it going to be another thing? But to be fair, Enea was able to pull away from Marc. Now, there also, in the last lap, was some light rain, and it looked like Pecco actually rolled off a little bit too much, allowing Bastianini to almost catch up with him and pass him for the lead. So it was kind of a strange situation. But the top 3 deservedly so. They raced all the way there. Jorge Martin, again, he looked really strong at the start. Great start. First 2 or 3 corners. You were like, oh, Martino he's making a statement. But he just didn't have the pace, Marc went back past him, and that was literally the end of him. He had nothing for anyone. Franco Morbidelli as well, very subdued race. You didn't really see too much of him. Same with Fabio Di Giannantonio, kept himself out of trouble. He did need a good finish, to be fair. Alex Marquez and Jack Miller. There was a really good battle between Alex, Jack, Maverick, and Marco Bezzecchi. They're all finished within half a second of each other. So it was a really, really good race to see them. Raul Fernandez, Fabio Quartararo were having a good battle between themselves. Luca Marini, the only Honda to properly finish. I know Johan Zarco did, but he also did get a long lap penalty. And I feel that if he didn't have that long lap penalty, he probably would have been fighting for that 11th place or so. Was the penalty deserved? Well, look, he went on the inside of his teammate, and there was contact in the middle of the corner, so probably fair enough. But I'd say that stewards are so inconsistent, you don't actually know what they're thinking. Augusto Fernandez and Alex Rins, again, not a great day, to be fair. And the 2 test riders, Lorenzo Savadori and Remy Gardner, doing what I thought they would do, to be fair. Joan Mir had a weird little run on, which resulted in him dropping the bike and retiring. Alicia Spargaro would say he's going to be sore, and after his crash today, I don't know whether he'll be on full form tomorrow or not. Pedro Acosta, he was absolutely flying, and I still class him as one of my riders of the day, to be fair. He passed. He took off from pole. He was in behind Pecco. He knew where he was faster than Pecco. He did a lovely pass. I don't know when he crashed, was he rolling in a little bit too fast, or was he a little bit too wide in the corner? So, it was kind of a weird crash for him. You could already see as he was sliding on his arse into the gravel, you could see the hands coming up over the eyes, as in, oh no. So look, it's good to see he wasn't injured. 100% he will be back tomorrow to give it a go again. Taka Nakagami, as we mentioned, was shoved off by his teammate and just retired back into the pits. Sad for Taka, as these are his last days riding in front of his Japanese fans. And Brad Binder, he was in, I believe, 4th or 5th place at the time. And just something seemed to go wrong with the bike, and he had to pull in. All in all, I thought it was a pretty good sprint race. A little bits of drama here and there. Definitely kept me awake, which is a good thing. But it's very hard to pick riders of the day. Mark and Martin made back an awful lot of spaces. People did fall out in front of him though to also aid that. So for me, I still think if I think about the sprint race today, the result for me actually is Pedro Acosta, because he has arrived. He was leading comfortably and he made a mistake. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the sprint race, and who was your rider of the day? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.